Welcome to the Pit Stop.
The official recap show for Season 2 of Underground's Drag Race.
With me, Ricky George.
And me, Ruby More or Less.
Episode 7, You're My Best Judy Makeover Challenge.
Ah! No, wait. You do this. Ooh. That's what you do. This week, contestants were tasked to find a friend who had never done drag, put them in drag, and perform a number together.
This week's guest judges were K-Bod and Pamela B. Carnes.
The main judges this week also participated in the challenge and did a little swappy swap of all of their makeups. Low-key, they looked fucking awesome.
That was fun.
You could tell that they were all living their best life, pretending to be each other.
Yeah.
And they all looked really good.
First up was Celery and Mammary. Celery chose to make over her mother and delivered an emotional performance to a cover of ABBA's Slipping Through My Fingers.
The number started with a boudoir that Sella sat in front of while her mother spoke over her shoulder, almost like a guardian angel of sorts, or a guiding mother. And eventually, they performed the song as a duet as they both took turns getting ready in front of the mirror, and it's clear that they had a connection and they saw themselves in each other.
Celery and Mammary were both wearing gorgeous emerald green dresses and beautiful blonde wigs.
Their outfits and their makeup were very cohesive, very showgirl, very glamorous, very theatrical.
This was a stellar, emotionally driven performance. You could tell that the performance and the song meant a lot to both of them. And honestly, Mammary, you stole the show.
She was so emotive and expressive and theatrical, and she knew every single syllable of that lip sync.
Oh, she did not come to play. She said she was gonna do right by Celery.
Which makes sense because she's been in the audience every single week watching Sella slay.
Well, yes. Shout out to all the gay-friendly mothers.
The end of the performance was a voicemail from Sella's mom telling Sella to be safe and have fun with your friends and I love you, very Ariana Grande style. Every single person I talked to had tears streaming down their face, so I'm not sure if there was a dry eye in the room, but maybe there's a 0.0001% chance that someone didn't cry. Everyone I talked to bawled their eyes out. Next up was Lemon, aka Shady Ho, and Tangerine, aka DJ Ryan X Libra.
Yeah!
That was fierce!
This is such a fun little moment.
I know that Ryan has been surrounded by drag 24/7 for the past however many years. The official drag boyfriend of Regina Gorge. Also, as a close personal friend of mine and a frequenter of underground shows, I know he has opinions. I know he knows what he would do.
And now he got to show us a little bit.
And he showed us for sure. Miss Tangerine, don't play.
They both were wearing bodysuits that coordinated with their respective fruit motifs.
Fringe, buckles, rhinestoned, it was fierce. So the number was kind of like a jukebox musical lip sync situation where Lemon and Tangerine were lost and they checked their map. They realized they were at Underground and discovered us, the Mole People. They then used the opportunity of a captive Mole People audience to practice and ask for feedback on their number.
Because they were trying out for the Fruit of the Loom, was it?
They had an audition for a Fruit of the Loom commercial.
Yes, they were the Citrus Sisters. The Citrus Sisters went back and forth taking turns practicing their solos and then gave us a duet.
All of the songs were citrus-related numbers, including the famous Lemon's verse from Canada's Drag Race.
Coming right after Celery's very emotional performance, I thought that this was a nice cathartic break to have a good laugh.
I thought it was so funny because while each one was doing a solo, the other one was like judging from behind and like actual true drag sisters.
Yes. They did a good job of like knowing what to do in the background while the other was performing and making it look like they were still in the performance.
All I'm saying is, need to see Tangerine at another underground show. Stat.
Lock her up and put her away. Don't ever bring Tangerine out.
You're threatened by her presence.
I'm just looking out for the queens.
Tangerine will gobble up local girls' gigs.
Some of these newbie bitches should be scared because why Ryan put on some nails and heels, never wore heels before, and ate these bitches up.
Truly.
Like,
the beast was awakened.
That was scary. Next up, we had Looky Lou and Peepin' Pete.
Loki started the number by showing us his Rolodex of girlfriends who happened to be sex dolls. Then Peepin' Pete strolled onto the stage with his most special lady.
The horror, the shock.
They then proceeded to duel by juggling tennis balls. But then they eventually joined forces to show off how sweaty and gross they are and how low their balls hang.
So at first it was kind of like they kept trying to one up the other, and then they realized they were actually more alike than they were different, and they joined teams to maximize their joint slay and hit the little apple dance. I think this was one performance that after the little apple dance, it became a little, what's going on? But then it kind of recovered at the end by showing how low their balls hung. The audience was genuinely like, what the fuck? And I think some people lived for that.
Finally, we had Marzipan and Meringue.
Marzipan and Meringue performed an emotional ballad to Sarah Bareilles' song, She Used to Be Mine.
They both came out in black and blue gowns where each gown was an inverse of the other, black being where blue was on the other gown. Also, their hair and headbands were fashioned in Rosie the Riveter style.
Come on, pinup drag.
I'm very fond of the pinup style, same with American traditional tattoo style,
Yes.
which are closely related.
Yes.
It was very like 1940s secret lesbian vibe.
I don't know if that was the case.
Were they lesbians or was it just herself? Or
I think
was
it
it
was herself. I think it was supposed to be like a. I think it was supposed to be like a mirrored version of like.
Mars
I think it was
is-
supposed to be a testament to their friendship. I'm pretty sure that's a close friend of Marzipan's. I interpret it as like a testament to their friendship and their individual selves as well.
I interpret it as two halves of the same person.
Right, which is a testament to like friendship. Sometimes when you have a really close friend, you feel like two halves of the same whole. Tell us if we're wrong, Marzipan. You still did great.
They had very simple but effective choreography that they both nailed. Lip sync, visuals, in terms of the makeup, nailed.
Emoting, nailed.
Meringue ate that shit up. They both performed the number so equally. It was absolutely a 50-50 shared stage time, effort. It was perfectly balanced.
Definitely. I think everybody was very enraptured in the performance. We had Sella start off with a very emotional number. We had this cathartic, two funny performances, and then we ended again with high emotions thanks to Marzipan. It was a welcomed emotional moment. I think it was very nice to see Marzipan do something very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And that you could tell meant a lot to them. Let's get vulnerable and drag. And with that, we wrapped up our performances for the night, and the judges deliberated.
They asked Looky Lou and Shady Ho to step forward, and then after a long drum roll, they were told that they were safe and continuing to the finale.
And then they announced that Marzipan and Celery were actually the top two of the night, which means that all four contestants were headed to the finale. Oh shit!
Wake that up.
If we were gonna have a Nobody's Eliminated episode, this was definitely the episode to do so.
Yeah. As much as I'm a hater-ass bitch who wants to see people go, I did have fun with every single number tonight. Marzipan and Celery were asked to lip-sync for the win to Nicki Minaj's Pound the Alarm.
Now this was a lip sync. No gag was left behind.
These bitches turned it. They cordially hugged. They were so glad they were both making it into the finale. As soon as the music turned on, they locked in. It was crazy.
Pound the alarm.
They pounded the alarm. They were twirling. They were swirling. They were duck walking.
They were doing everything. They were pulling out all the moments at the right time.
There were 8 counts.
There was coordination randomly. They both kind of went down at the same time and then started hitting something. I was like, oh, not the little choreographed moment, low-key.
Also, we were all laughing at the fact that they were both wearing like dresses and gowns.
Giving eleganza and started hitting the pound alarm.
And they both went, in this? Yes, bitch, in that.
I feel like it was all around a good lip sync, but there were certain parts that Celery just stole it for me.
I'm so glad that they went into the lip sync hugging each other and they finished the lip sync hugging each other. They both knew that they were happy to make it to the finale. They both did an incredible job this week and they were just happy to be celebrated in that moment.
And happy to be competitive about it, which I enjoyed.
Oh yeah, it's way more fun to compete for the win than to compete to stay. And the winner this week was... Celery!
Great job, girl. Deserved. Pulled at all of our heartstrings and did a great job at the lip sync.
I don't know if it was the estrogen talking, but I bawled my eyes out, ugly crying over your number. So thank you.
Even I shed tears, and it's hard for me to shed tears.
Next week is the finale!
Yes, and we will finally see who will be the winner of season 2 of Underground's Drag Race.
Who am I going to pass my crown to?
Whoa, the
wake
pressure is
that up.
on. I'm excited.
I'm so excited.
I think it's going to be a good time, and I'm excited to see what happens next week.
That being said, this is the last episode of the Pit Stop for this season. We'll be too busy finaleing next week.
So be sure to show up this Sunday at Underground Nightclub, 8 p.m. for the finale of Underground's Drag Race.
Sound off in the comments below. Who should be on season 3?
Sound off in the comments below. Who do you think deserves the win? What team are you on? Team Celery? Team Marzipan? Team Looky Loo? Team Shady Ho?
See you next week, where I look cunty in my step down.
And I maybe come in drag? Probably not.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.
Mwah.